Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Joe here, the guy who still sees Hugh Jackman more so as who he was in The Prestige instead of Wolverine all the time. Uh, I like The Prestige a lot. I love Wolverine too, big X-Men fan, but recently been thinking about the movie The Prestige. It's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'm not spoiling nothing. I'm trying to talk about something else other than me recapping just another fight night. The slow, inevitable descent into madness with another fight night. But here we are, here to recap UFC Fight Night. Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. So, enough talk. Let's get to the fights. Main event, Sean Brady, Gilbert Burns. A lot of questions going into this bout was, is Gilbert Burns going to drop 3 in a row? Because he lost to Belal Muhammad, fought JDM, put up really great effort against the Young Buck, but Young Buck knocks him out with an open side knee. And then here he is against Sean Brady. Sean Brady, his only loss in his career is to Belal Muhammad. More embarrassingly enough, it was a TKO from Belal Muhammad. He couldn't knock him down. He was just beat him up on the feet and covered up against the cage. So, but Sean Brady, a lot of people trying he's been kind of firing back a little bit at people going like, dude, you got knocked out by Belal Muhammad. Come on. He's been kind of firing back against that, like, who cares, like, kind of thing. Good on him, I suppose. He's not going to win fans over if he's as boring as he is, though, because I forgot what Sean Brady fight it was where I was like, oh, this guy's kind of fun. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye out for him. And then every other fight since then, I've just been like, man, this is awful. He's good. He's very good. Do not get me wrong. He is not fun to watch. Like most welterweights. Oh, I got him. Welterweight isn't a very good division right now, it feels like. I think it's kind of struggling a little bit. I think it has been for a while. But yeah, here he is. And he was trying to wall install often and just stay tied to Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns was trying to get stuff in the feet going. Wasn't able to really kind of capitalize on moments. His speed and reflexes just aren't there. The power is still there. Power, I always hear, is the last thing to go. But at 38 years of age, Gilbert Burns was sort of slowing down. And people forget, he was like 35 when he kind of finally broke into the upper echelon of MMA. And he wasn't a young buck by any stretch. We knew he had a very limited time at the top of the game. And it kind of sucks to see a guy, like how talented he is. It took that long for him to break into it and kind of put it all together. Because that means his window of opportunity to get a belt is a lot lower. And so it definitely kind of sucks, because I think him and Leon could have been a fun fight at one point. But here we go. Sean Brady gets a unanimous decision victory. I thought he won every round just by controlling him. And he got some takedowns near the end. And while there was some scrambles, it was mostly Sean Brady being the blanket, Holly homing, Jake shielding it. Yeah, and Gilbert Burns, he took his gloves off. Sounds like he's really considering retirement. At this point, I feel like taking the gloves off, putting him down in the ring, a lot of fighters have done it and been like, no, I'm not retiring. Well, why did you get the impression I was going to retire? Kind of sick of it. But I hope he does. I like Gilbert Burns a lot. So, at this point, 38 years of age, you probably, his speed and reflexes are just kind of gone, and it's not necessarily an age thing, really. It's more so just like how long he's been doing combat sports as well, because he's been in MMA for a good amount of time. He's been grappling even longer than that. The wear and tear on your body. Grappling's harder on your body than striking, in my personal opinion. It's natural to slow down. But yeah, co-main event was Natalia Silva versus Jessica Andrade, the one shining light in a sea of snores. Natalia Silva, a lot of spin attacks, a lot of long kicks, a lot of strikes. Jessica Andrade trying to close the distance, trying to make this the brawl. And it was kind of fun watching the cat and mouse game, I thought. And I think it was a clear fight of the night from what I was watching. I think it did win it. Pretty sure. But, it was definitely a good one. Jessica Andrade was kind of making a small resurgence, and her dropping one here, we kind of know where she's at. I think like where her ceiling is now. Once again, another fighter aging. It's kind of how it is. Been in the game a long time, a lot of experience and fights on her resume. The fight age is pretty high, you would imagine. And here's Natalia Silva, who's looking pretty good at flyweight, kind of adding to that Rose Namajunas, Aaron Blanchfield, Manon Farrow, kind of getting thrown into that mix, which makes the title fight next week even more interesting. But for the rest of the card, Steve Garcia, he got a TKO over Kyle Nelson. Cody Durden got a ninja choke over Matt Schnell. I should say fighter pay defender Matt Schnell. Yanel Ashmus got a unanimous decision with a suffocating performance that wasn't very fun against Trevor Peek. Chris Padilla beat Rong Zhu by a doctor stoppage. Isaac Dolgarian got a arm triangle over Brendan Moreau. Andre Lima got a unanimous decision over Felipe dos Santos. Gabriel Santos beat Yi Jia by unanimous decision. This was a weird one. Jacqueline Amorim got an armbar win over Vanessa Demopoulos, but like Vanessa Demopoulos was pretty mad after the fight because while the armbar was getting set up, I couldn't tell from like the picture I saw because I didn't watch this prelim live. I just kind of saw clips of it, and I didn't really pay super attention until I heard about the controversy. Vanessa Demopoulos was saying that Amorim was sticking her fingers in her glove to really yank it back and manipulate the hand itself in it to get the armbar win, which is very illegal. So I don't know the truth of it. Maybe you guys saw something, but if so, then I hope they overturn that if they can. Andrei Petrovsky got a unanimous decision over Dylan Budka, and finally Nathan Fletcher got an arm triangle win over Zygomontas Ramaska. Normally that would be just it for me because this wasn't the most eventful time. I mostly spent time this week catching up on the Craig Jones Invitational, which was really fun. Highly recommend checking out Renato Laranja doing an interview with Craig Jones and Gabby Garcia, which was super funny. They also gave him a live mic during their intergender match, which was unbelievable. At one point, Craig Jones goes for a twister, and Renato Laranja at one point in the fight had said, like, I got to speak Australian, so Craig Jones will understand me. And as Craig Jones is going for the twister, Renato Laranja just yells out, "Don't do it, mate! You're gonna make Eddie Bravo look good. We'll never hear the end of it." But it's pretty funny. Really funny commentary from all around. Fun setup. High praise for the Craig Jones Invitational that I caught up on this week. But the big news of the week is the retirement of another potential GOAT figure. And Mighty Mouse, Demetrious Johnson, retired. They put him in the ONE FC Hall of Fame, and he called it a career at 38 years of age. Hey, what a great career. A fantastic career, honestly. He crushed it. He's undeniably the best flyweight ever, right? He's the GOAT of flyweights. Long winning streak. Had tons of great finishes. Fought everybody he could. And just smashed on everybody. The Ray Borg German suplex armbar. Because that's like a thing about calling someone the GOAT. Is I know a lot of people will be like, oh, well, his competition sucks and all this and stuff like that. I think you can do that for a lot of people. If John Jones was somehow a clean fighter in this magical, non-existent world, I've looked at the infinite realities. John Jones is always on roids in all of them. It's kind of a weird constant, I think. But hypothetically, there is one out there where he's not on roids. And he still did the same thing he did in there. You can still take the the magnifying glass to his opponents, and I think you can really argue against a lot of them. Most of them are undersized middleweights that are just fighting at the 205 because that's just what they've always fought at, even though we all know they probably should move down. Or they're people way past their prime or coming off of injuries that have shortened their prime dramatically. Like Shogun had that, his knee after the Machida 2 fight. He wasn't really the same after the Machida 2 fight when he got hurt. Guys like Chael Sonnen, who talked his way into a title shot, which is pretty funny. Rashad Evans is like one of the better ones on that list, but a guy like Mighty Mouse, I'm sure people are like, well, what about Chris Cariaso? What about that one, huh? Okay, sure. There's some you can definitely point out, but how untouchable he was in all of them is pretty insane. And his one loss that ended the streak and got him traded to ONE FC for Ben Askren, still weird to me, was a fight where a lot of people, me included, think you could argue he won. I think he won personally. I know a lot of people that argue he won that fight. So, against Henry Cejudo, who also is very, very, very good fighter. Probably on a top 10, top 15 all-time fighter in terms of ability. Accolades not so much, but ability, absolutely. Yeah. So, shout out to Demetrious Johnson. Have a fantastic retirement. One story I have of him, like one memory I have, is I remember, I think it was Ray Borg in 2016. If Ray Borg was in 2016, he was playing Dark Souls 3 at the Fighter Hotel, hit a bonfire, went across the street, beat Ray Borg, and then came back. It was a fight in 2016 that he had, and I don't think it was Ray Borg, but I have the quote on my phone in like a meme, and it's like, that's when he was like, all right, cool, time to go fight. I think he said he was like fighting like Pontiff Sullivan. Like, all right, time to go fight Pontiff Sullivan, take another crack at him. Awesome. He had Xbox on his shorts for a while. That was his old sponsor, which is super cool. Tons of great stuff like that, and far and away one of the best to ever do it, for sure. I personally have him at 3, and I have GSP at 2. I have Aldo at 1. One day maybe I'll do like a big long form reasoning behind it. I've thought a lot about it. I think Aldo's number 1. I think he's the greatest ever. Thinking about it super hard. That's it. And I'm teasing this. I'm talking about this now because I know some people didn't like it when I said, "Oh, I have Aldo over GSP." Last week, which is fun. It's a hot take video. We're supposed to kind of disagree. These are my hot takes, right? I am willing to do like a long form video on like a weekend where there's no fights to talk about that. Or, good segue, you can go check out INC Uncaged exclusive show on our Patreon, where on one of the episodes, I forget which, I'm sure me and Carl can always talk about it and like maybe post a comment when we figure out which one it was. I went on a long rant discussing my case to Carl, and Carl didn't 100% agree with me, but he definitely sees where I'm coming from, and that's all you need. You got to think about it. I have a case for him. I've thought about it a lot. Yeah, if he's not, he's at least 2, Aldo. Definitely check out the Patreon, and if you join, because you get all this really cool content, INC Uncaged, you can definitely kind of join the good side, where, the correct side of history, where Aldo's the greatest ever. No, I'm just playing. But you can definitely check those out. INC Uncaged, which is an exclusive series on our Patreon. You also get content YouTube doesn't like, unfiltered content, because we have to censor things, so YouTube will even let us upload it half the time. It's kind of a problem we're dealing with right now. As right now, Patreon is the best way to support us. Like, YouTube is really making our lives pretty difficult for us, so Patreon is the way to go. On top of that, you also, as a little bonus reward, you get to nominate a card for us to review on the Retro Review series. As long as I get my hands on it, I'll do it for free. That's just a bonus for signing up. Sign-up bonus. It's super cool. Well, we've done a lot of Patreon reviews on the series, so you can always go check those out. You can kind of see how I handle it. I treat them just like I would any Retro Review, and I even give you a little shout-out by name for it and all that noise. You can always request not to if that's not your thing, but it's really cool seeing people request cards that, like, there's no way they would get voted for in, like, the future and stuff like that's incredibly cool, and I love doing things like that, so definitely very proud of that. But that's it for me. I'll be back next week to recap UFC Noche at the Sphere with, like, I don't know, it's a weird promotion. Me and Carl just got done actually shooting the preview show, so that should be up by now. And we're about to go shoot INC and Caged, which will be on Patreon. If you're a member, go check that out, as we actually have a lot of fun shooting that. It's mostly me and Carl just kind of talking casually about a bunch of stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys have a fantastic week. I'm Joe with the INC. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.